Hey, I love Mr. Parliament. But synchronicity, alright, I've come to learn this. If you didn't have narcissists or people that suffer from personality disorder, you wouldn't have half of what you see in the media. You would not have people writing to the Strawberry Letter. You wouldn't have people reaching out for help. These people want change. These people want clarity. These people only want peace. You feel what I'm saying? That's all they want. And even it may be a position where you got to make a decision to leave, because you got to see your worth. I tell y'all, like I've always said, if you in a relationship and you bring your stuff to the table, it should be 100%, 100%, and you both take a position to walk through life together, because they should see your worth and you should see theirs. You speak your truth and they reciprocate theirs, and you both go through life together. But you can't do it unless you're spiritually grounded. Every time you take it upon yourself to try to do things on your own, guess what? You avoid the bullet each and every time. That's how it works. God is only going to give you but so much to deal with. But if you don't let him in, he can't get you out. And some of y'all have the audacity or the ego to think, well, you know what? I'm just going to put a little get right in here just to get me out of this. Well, little do you know, you're setting yourself up to fail, because he's a jealous and loving God. You might be turning around transitioning only into the actual spiritual storm. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you something. Let's go into this. This is how you know a person is suffering from personality disorder or narcissism. Number one, their outer environment is about perfection. They are the ultimate go-getter. They've got a good mouthpiece. They use charm to paint the picture. They're a great storyteller. They use that as a weapon. These people are the greatest. Well, no, they ain't. Put it this way. They know how to use their sexuality as a weapon. You better listen, my kings. My queens, you better listen. They know how to use that. Why? Because they've had practice long ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging. I'm stating fact. And this is how you know, too. A narcissist, you turn around and say, well, okay, you see the positives in them, right? And you get to the point that you wish to be intimate with them, depending on how accelerated the connection is, how intense it is, because there's a gray line. There's a gray lining in that. And you got to be careful for this, because my kings and my queens, You see that in rebound relationships. Think about it. You want to do things right. You want to respect them, take your time, especially you, my kings, of talking to you. You already knew where you came from, the relationship that you came from, and you decide, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to respect this woman. I'm not going to rush her, even though physically you know you just want to take a bite of that apple. But you don't rush her because you want to invest in this woman, because she has qualities that will make a great wife, a great life partner. One that will make you want to move mountains, to swim the deepest sea. But trust when I say this, still waters run deep. But then, just like that, you intimate, and they pull all the stops. You are having intimacy as if you were married. It is explorative. It is reckless. It is intense. You are being witness to the weapon. I know you're saying, well, Gerald, hey, I got a healthy libido. I want to get it in. Okay. You're entitled to that. But why will you just squirt your gun everywhere when you can blast it at one target? Think about it now. That's why I've come to understand about you, my queens. I love you guys. I do. You deserve to have the man that is going to exalt you. You guys walk together, but you cannot sell yourself short at the first bid. And a lot of times, you get caught up by the approach. You say to yourself, I'm smarter than an average bear. I'm not going to be like her. But you end up becoming worse. He got you doing things that you heard people talk about, but you knew in your heart, I ain't doing that. Are you crazy? Little do you know, he's got you in his rotation. But he's using you like a rotisserie. You've compromised your self-respect and self-esteem because you are caught up in the lust of the stimulation of how it responds to your body, and it makes a eruption of desire only to be tainted. That's why it's always bittersweet. See, a person that suffers from personality disorders, after they have put their good stuff out there and they know that they have you, that's when they really go to work. That's when they go to work. Because what they're going to do is systematically strip you of your essence. They may be so bold with it that they may use sexuality to get you to a point of weakness. And then the fun begins because your nose is wide open and your heart is wounded. They know that they've got you. And so they will use that like a string to a cat and say, come on, come on, come on. Only to inflict more sexual perversion. Now listen, I'm saying this to y'all because I done been there. I used to have those traits. Yeah. Hey, I was the type of person that I was always about mine. I was raised right. But little did I know there was things about me that I lacked emotionally, and I found myself gravitating to the wrong people, to be emotionally scarred. But because of my Lord Jesus Christ, He spared me. Oh, I had to go through it. I did. He had to strip me from all the things that were not in my best interest. Materialistically, financially, socially, I had to learn all these things because I did not see my worth. I did not see my boundaries. So, because we have women that want to act like men, they're like, you're just one more notch on the belt. See, you gotta understand something, my kings. There are some women that don't love themselves and they really hate you, but will tolerate you because they need you to do something, because they don't have the courage to repair it. These people are actually on a path of destruction. Please understand that. That's why love triangles exist. That's why they do. And one of the strongest weapons that a person that suffers from personality disorders is they use secrecy. They use secrecy as their weapon. Because see, they already know they got you on the team. So they'll use silence, or what I call the Houdini effect. Now you see me, now I don't. When you try to invest time in them, they flake all the time. When you want to only give your best foot forward, they don't see the worth in that. And actually, they gravitate towards those people that are like-minded, are abusers. That's why, my kings, you may hear about this. There may have been someone that you were aligned with. They are extensions of you because that was a soul tie. Don't get it twisted. Part of your spirit is in that person, and part of that person's spirit is in yours. And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, some of their bad behaviors and traits, oh man, my mouth is not working. You have unknowingly have embraced that mindset. So, if this person was emotionally abusive by being verbal, you notice that the next time you get in a relationship or whatever you want to use to convince yourself it is, you're going to be doing the same thing they did. Why? Because the devil's work is never done. He's used, that was the hook. You were the fish. You don't have boundaries. So the first thing that you can do in that is put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground and take the time to reflect on where you've been. Look at all the things that did not add up and just lay it out. And you will see what I'm talking about. You're not crazy. You were just in love. You were in love. And if it was from a pure place, God is going to smile on you for that, because He understands that it was from your heart. However, there was a lesson that you had to learn from it. Now, I'm a firm believer in this, y'all. I'm going to tell you. Your higher power will make a way when there is no way, because He is the way. Here's another way you'll find out. You'll get to a point of brokenness that you say, you know what? I got to finally get real with myself. This is not the life intended. So you got to make a divine choice on what you want to do, how you wish to direct your steps. Do you want to uplift yourself, or do you want to self-sabotage yourself? See, people with personality disorders, they don't take ownership for anything they do. They don't. If it does not serve their purpose, which is really ego and pride, they will have nothing to do with it. That's why people that choose to cheat, that's why they always get caught. Why? Because God's going to always show light. I think Jill said it best. Everything comes to the light. It comes to the light to illuminate the step of the wrongdoer, but it also illuminates what the other person needs to correct. Energy out, energy in. Because 9 times out of 10, you were also that person at one time. So God, you're going to go through some things to validate your worth. Look at the book of Job. Look at all that stuff he went through. And the devil was like, he gonna break. And as soon as you break, you're going to let me have him, right? God was like, no. You can test him, but he's pure. That's why when things happen, you go through a season of reaffirming your position. You're going to go through things that you've been through just for validation, because he wants to know, do I got you? Do I got you? Did you learn the lesson? And what will happen is you will take a different position in your life. You will be more patient. You will be more compassionate. You will resonate from a place of kindness. You will be more methodical in what comes out your mouth, because you know the repercussions of manifestation. Because you finally have the courage to look at yourself to fix that mess. Not to stray off topic. So let's talk about the people with the personality disorder. Here's another way you'll know. You know how I told y'all, especially to my kings, you want to know how that woman's going to be? Look at her mom. But that also is expansive. You look at the people, look at the women in her life, because they all play a role in the development of that little girl. So you got to think very, very carefully who you wish to align with, because there are some people that are not yoked. They're not. That's why people, when they get married for money, you might as well be getting married to a darn locust. You know what a locust is, right? It looks like a giant grasshopper. It comes in swarms. It goes to a food source and it wrecks it. And then it moves on. That's exactly what a person does with personality disorder. Because there's a source of emotion that it lacks. And it will stay there long enough to get its fill. And then once it gets to that point, what will happen is, not only, and here's the sad part, I got to put it out there. What will happen is, they've already got some other people lined up. But they already realize they're about to get found out too. So they're going to try to make a mad dash before damage is truly going to be done on their part, because they're cowards. Because they don't see their self-worth. And that's why, my queens, it's very important that no matter what you've gone through, listen, what you went through with your parents wasn't your fault. But you got to take accountability for your behavior patterns, because you acting just like them. And that means you're being a hypocrite, because what you're speaking is not matching up with your actions. So start loving yourself and take the steps to heal. I'm breaking 20 on this one. I'm going to go more in depth on the next one. God is praying for you. You know I am. We're going to get you right. 2014's got your name on it.